So guys, I would just like to start this video with a little quick thing. I have not uploaded in 5 months, guys. I know it's the elephant in the room, but I just had to address it. It's been a minute. Just been kind of doing schoolwork and stuff. Really just the YouTube videos just haven't been feeling like it. So yeah, so I decided to just kind of take a little break from it for a minute. I just, a little burnt out at the time. But now I'm back for a little bit, guys. So we are here. We're going to be discussing all the boxing fights that just happened last Saturday. Saturday, April the 30th, man. There was two great cards, DAZN and Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum and Top Rank Boxing. They both put on a great show, guys. And then we'll get into this week. On May the 7th, we have Canelo versus Bivol, which we'll get into that a little bit later in the video, guys. Anyways, I want to talk about Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano, guys. This was the first female headline event ever to take it down to headline Madison Square Garden. So it's a pretty big achievement. But yeah, Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. Amanda Serrano is probably the biggest name in women's boxing, and Katie Taylor is probably bigger to the UK audience. Personally, I was rooting for Katie Taylor to win the fight. Just because, I don't know, Jake Paul was representing Serrano in Most Valuable Promotions. Plus, I just like Eddie Hearn and Katie Taylor's story about having to be she had to pretend to be a boy and fight in Ireland. So, that's crazy. But anyways, I'm going to get into the fight and what I saw in the fight and what I thought of the fight. Because many people were saying it was a robbery. I didn't see it that way. I had it 8-2 for for Katie Taylor, which that may sound very controversial, but it's really not. I don't have her winning by much, but I think she won up until round 5. She won, it was 10-9, 10-9, 10-9, 10-9 for 4 rounds until round 5 and 6. Round 5 and 6 easily went to Amanda Serrano, but Amanda Serrano did not even drop Katie Taylor in either of those rounds, so none of those rounds were 10-8. I bet you if she had dropped them, the refs would have given the fight to Amanda Serrano, or it would have been a draw. I guarantee you that would have happened. But yeah, I had it 10-9, 10-9, 10-9, 10-9, 9-10, 9-10, 10-9, 10-9, 10-9, 10-9, 10-9, with the 10th round being the one that was given to Amanda Serrano by the final judge. He actually decided that he thought Amanda Serrano won that. I thought she won 8 rounds to 2. All those were 10-9 rounds. There was no 10-8 rounds. There was no dominant rounds, except for 5 and 6 were pretty dominant. But they weren't 10-8 rounds for Amanda Serrano. They were just 10-8 rounds. And I saw a lot of people saying, oh my gosh, how are these scores? I mean, she won by 6 points. It's really not like a big difference in boxing if you go 10-9, 10-9, 10-9, 10-9. I mean, because you could win those rounds by very small margins, which I think Katie Taylor did. And I think that there was a debate for it. But I personally believe Katie Taylor won all those. But yeah, that's a big night for women's boxing and sports in general. Headlining Madison Square Garden is no easy feat, and especially to sell it out the way that they did. The crowd was electric. It was a pretty electric crowd, man. I'm gonna be honest. That was such a sick fight. Eddie Hearn and actually Jake Paul and Most Valuable Promotions did a pretty good job promoting that fight. I'm gonna be real. I enjoyed it personally. I really did enjoy it. I actually purchased DAZN. I haven't been subscribing to DAZN. I bought it for the Canelo Bivol fight, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, for the future of the women's boxing, I guess they're gonna do the rematch between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. Amanda Serrano, I think this is their second loss of her career. Katie Taylor's still undefeated. So yeah, I don't see a reason to do a rematch because I don't like when you give a fighter an L on a rematch. It's always kind of sad because the other fighter's already taken an L from. I don't know. They do deserve a rematch though. I'm gonna be honest because it was a close fight. But I'd like to see a rematch in Ireland because if Amanda Serrano can go into Ireland, opposing territory, that would just be pretty exciting, honestly. And I think that would be a pretty exhilarating match. I don't think anybody can deny that. Another one. I think it needs to be redone. Although the first one was very good, one of the greatest fights, men and women of all time. I think that would be a legendary fight. And honestly, if we're thinking like a DAZN, Eddie Hearn debate versus like Top Rank, Bob Arum, Showtime, I've been sticking with DAZN as of recent. I mean, I can't remember. I don't really know. I just said I just bought it because I did just buy it back for Canelo. This has been a good 2 weeks in DAZN boxing. But also Top Rank and Bob Arum also delivered a great match. If you guys missed it, Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez for the vacant ring title, WBC belt, and the WBO belt was on the line. Shakur's WBO belt. But yeah, Oscar Valdez had the rest of them. Oscar Valdez had a 30-0 record, I think, undefeated. Shakur Stevenson, I think, is 18-0 before the bout, and then who won this bout. So yeah, it was totally a Shakur just domination, man. He won, I think, on my scorecard I had it 118 to 109. I think that's what one judge had it. I had Shakur winning every single round except for the third, and then the 10th round. Third and 10th round I had going to Oscar Valdez, and really those could have gone to Shakur Stevenson as well. If we're being honest, I just felt that Oscar needed some rounds, and I think the judges felt that way too. Pretty much everybody I saw gave the third round to Oscar Valdez. But yeah, man, it was not a particularly great showing for Oscar Valdez, man. I was expecting a lot more from Oscar. I knew that Shakur would outbox him, kind of Mayweather him, but if, the whole kind of point of this thing was, could Oscar Valdez catch Shakur Stevenson with some crazy punch and win the fight? And it didn't happen. Shakur was just too fast, too quick, too clean with his boxing. He was just the better boxer in there, and that you could tell pretty obviously. Shakur outboxed him 10 out of 12 rounds, and now become the WBC, WBO, and Ring Magazine champ. I think that this really does clear him out to be a pretty big star, man. Really, there's only 2 more belts in his weight class before he's unified champion. I think he's like 25 I think he's under 25, to be honest. So that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive to do. Canelo just unified his belt. We'll speak about Canelo versus Bivol coming up here in just a minute. Anyways, though, yeah. So this was just a crazy bout between Shakur and Valdez. Pretty much just total domination by Shakur. I mean, there was never really a shot for Valdez, unless he got some crazy kind of. There's always a puncher's chance. I mean, you don't want to ever count your fighter out, but they could have stopped the fight, to be honest, probably when Valdez got knocked down. But honestly, it wasn't too horrendous of a knockdown. There was a knockdown, the 6-round knockdown. That was a 10-8 round, which did boost the scorecards a little bit more in favor of Shakur. But yeah, definitely a Shakur fight, and really, I think Shakur showed it on a main stage. Normally these types of boxers have been falling out of style, kind of. You don't hear about them until you hear about like the Canelos of the world, but soon you'll probably hear about the Shakur, the Terrence Bud Crawfords of the world. That those types of people, you'll be hearing about Shakur, I think, pretty soon. And I think a lot of people did. I think people know about Shakur. He's not like I'm tracking some underground guy. He's trending #1 every single time he fights. But yeah, I remember seeing him. I think I remember getting him the WBO belt. Yeah, I watched him get the WBO belt. I remember that. And throughout the entire thing, I thought, the southpaw Shakur Stevenson would have that advantage, but also Oscar Valdez could, I thought, do a little bit better than he did. And I did think that he performed not as well as he could have. But it's tough to say, because we always say he didn't perform as well as he could have, but it's also Shakur setting up these things so that Oscar Valdez did not, get the punches that we thought he could. So maybe Shakur is just a better boxer than some people will give him credit for. Shakur is a great boxer, and I think everybody knows that, though, now. I mean, outboxed Oscar Valdez for 10 out of 12 rounds. It wasn't even close. Pretty much every round, to be honest, he outboxed him, but just Oscar landed a little bit more in the 3rd and the 10th, so people gave it to him. But yeah, just an incredible boxer. He's going to be known about. I see him keep winning, to be honest. I see him just winning and winning and winning. But yeah, I think there's 2 more belts in his weight class, junior lightweight, and then he can unify. And honestly, the dudes in his weight class are probably not even fights that people would want to see. Probably people would want to see him go up and fight a Devin Haney or something like that. Somebody that is just, I don't know. I think it's the IBF champion. What's the other one? WBA, I think, are the only 2 that are left, because he's got WBO, Ring, WBC. Yeah, so WBA and the IBF titles are the only ones, and those champions aren't really seen as any stars or anything. They have losses, But I mean, I'm sure there'll be fights set up so that he can unify his championship belts. But yeah, speaking of unified champions, Canelo Alvarez fights on May the 7th. Um, Man, I really want to predict the upset here, man. I really do. But it's hard to bet against Canelo, man. I keep trying to say somebody will upset Canelo. I said it about Caleb Plant. I said it about Billy Joe Saunders. And now I'm gonna say it again, man. I'm going with Dimitri Bivol for the upset of the ages. I'm telling you, man. Dimitri Bivol is about to get it done and shock the world. Personally, I want Canelo to win. I'm gonna be honest here. I want Canelo to win. Although I do want my prediction to be right though as well. So I don't know, but I think I do want Canelo to win, man. Cinco de Mayo weekend. It would be pretty legendary if somebody moved up to light heavyweight and won a bout there as well. And then there's talks if he wins against Bivol, he'll go ahead and fight um, Alexander Usyk. If Usyk beats Joshua in the rematch in Saudi Arabia, they said that they'll make Canelo versus Alexander Usyk. I don't know if that fight's gonna be a heavyweight or what. I think Dimitri Bivol and no, I think that Dimitri Bivol is 6 foot. I think if I'm not mistaken, what's his name? Oh my gosh, his name just went out of my mouth. Alexander Usyk. I think his height is about 6'2", if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm looking that up. Oh, he's 6'3". He's 6'3". Okay, so he's 6'3", and Bivol is already kind of tall um, for Canelo. Canelo could get outboxed by Bivol. We'll see. I don't know. With everything that's going on in the world right now with the Russians, though, the judges will be very biased against them. Yeah, there's a lot of anti-Russian stuff right now, so I do see the judges playing that against him. I really do, especially if they're American judges. They're definitely going to go probably single out Dimitri Bivol, which is not fair in a boxing match. It's just no place for that in boxing. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, Canelo, if he gets past Bivol, which if he does, that'll be an accomplishment. I don't want to see people go, "Oh, it's Dimitri Bivol." No, Dimitri Bivol is a good champion, man. I think he's the IBF champion of the world, if I'm not mistaken. Is this the second time Canelo's challenging for an IBF title in a row? I don't know, because Plant was an IBF title holder, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited to see it, though. It all goes down Saturday in Las Vegas, the T-Mobile Arena, man. The UFC's been moved to Phoenix for this one, although that's where they were playing in it the entire time, I think. Probably because they already pre-booked this. I heard, though, that Joshua is going to stay on. Anthony Joshua's staying on DAZN and Barstool UK or whatever it is, Sky Sports UK, not Barstool. He's going to stay on Sky Sports UK and fight for Eddie Hearn yet again in the rematch against Usyk. I'll be talking about that in just a minute, though, and future bouts between the heavyweight champions. Yeah, but on this podcast stuff, I'll probably be talking about all types of heavyweight stuff moving on into the future. But right now, we're here to talk about Canelo Alvarez, man. My prediction is just Bivol is a little bit too big for Canelo. I'm going to be real. I'm hoping for Canelo to win it, though. I really am. But I'm a little nervous for him, man. Because Bivol is no easy task. Could we say Canelo is the GOAT if he beats Dimitri Bivol? And imagine if he beats Alexander Usyk. Could you call him the GOAT? I mean, I'm sorry, but if he goes up to heavyweight and beats Alexander Usyk, I mean, I'm assuming they would do it at heavyweight. They might meet at cruiserweight, though, actually. It would probably be working. But, I mean, if imagine Canelo got the heavyweight championship of the world, man, and beat Alexander Usyk, that would make him the GOAT. I'm sorry, but hands down, he'd beat out Floyd, beat out Muhammad Ali. Yeah, but then, guys, we got I think it's June, we got Usyk versus Joshua, man. I mean, Usyk versus Joshua too, man. Let's be pretty honest here, guys. Let's be real. Okay, how many of you guys gave Usyk a shot before the Joshua fight that were not boxing experts? I want to hear from the casual fans. Who did you think was going to win? Okay, thank you. You thought Anthony Joshua was going to win. I don't want to hear from the casual fans. I know people like Strike Ninja, True Jordy, some of these more boxing expert people on YouTube. they did think that Usyk could win, and I knew Usyk could win. But we're not going to count out that the fact that people were really riding on Anthony Joshua to win the fight, almost like this was an upset when he won. And now they're acting like it would be a major upset if he won the fight against Usyk. So I don't know where people's logic are there, man. They just see somebody win and they think that that must be the best guy in the world now. So now they're all thinking they're on the Usyk train. I think there's nobody in the world that could beat Usyk, man. We'll see. I mean, don't count Anthony Joshua out, man. All the casual fans are picking him just before the Usyk fight, man. And Usyk, I know, is nobody to be played with. But there is always a shot that Joshua just knocks him out. I'm going to be honest. And I'm going to be real. It's just, I mean, Saudi Arabia is a pretty good spot for rematches with Anthony Joshua from the Ruiz fights. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel people are underestimating Anthony Joshua all of a sudden after underestimating Usyk for so long. Now people are doing the same exact thing, but for Anthony Joshua. I don't know, man. We'll see. I'm excited to see what's up with the Tyson Fury, the WBC belt, and the Ring Magazine belt, man. Because right now we got, I think, 3 of the belts are to Usyk, and then 2 of the belts are with Tyson Fury. And we still don't know what's going on with Deontay Wilder, man. He's just kind of floating around out there waiting for somebody to... I guess he's waiting for Tyson to retire, but I've always wanted to see Wilder versus Joshua. I think that would be a great fight. But that didn't happen. That never materialized after the Fury trilogy. I just still want to see just a Fury Joshua bout, or I guess we could do a if Usyk wins and Tyson retires. I don't know what you do. I don't know where you go from there. I think that Usyk would just go fight somebody, and maybe. I mean, I'd like to see Deontay get his WBC belt back. Maybe if he could beat like Dillian White, I don't know. Get that name back up there. I always wanted to see Ruiz versus Wilder. There's a lot of Wilder fights to make, to be honest. People really underestimate Wilder after the Tyson Fury trilogies, man. But going into that fight, nobody gave Tyson a shot against Wilder in the first one until he got outboxed, and then he knocked him down, which caused the whole trilogy to happen, basically. If Tyson had won that, they would have just had the rematch in Vegas, and that would have been it. But then they had to do the trilogy, because why not? But yeah, that basically, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, there's so many good fights to make there, man. I'm going to be real. Alexander Usyk versus Joshua is just going to be amazing, though. But that one's the only one confirmed out of these. I know Ruiz is fighting somebody. I forget who he's fighting at the moment. But I know he just announced the fight, I think, today. But yeah, so Joshua, I still want to see him fight Wilder, man. If Usyk goes on and fights Tyson Fury in a fight, I'd like to see Joshua versus Wilder in a fight. That's what I think I'd like to see. Wilder's the king of knockouts, man. You guys can't forget that, man. He's knocked out everybody except Tyson Fury. There's only one man he's not been able to knock out, and he's lost both times still. So, I think he has the kiss of death, man. I don't know what it is about Tyson, about his right arm, man. He just rocks people, man. I mean, Tyson Fury's been knocked down 4 times, I think. Has it been 4 times to Wilder? It's been about 4 times. I know at the second fight there was no knockdowns, but I know in the first fight he got knocked down twice, and then the second fight he got knocked down twice, which, wow, that was a scary time in that second fight. But anyways, guys, I will leave you here, guys. Thank you for watching the first episode of my boxing podcast, man. Sorry I haven't been around for so long, guys. It's just been a hot minute. Just been doing other things, man. We've been watching all these boxing fights. But yeah, I'll be back soon, guys. I'm trying to do an IRL video soon, so stay prepared, stay tuned. Take care of yourselves, guys. I'll see you in a minute. Peace out.